Ladies and gentlemen and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Being Trans's Darkest Timeline. I am Amanda Bonanza. Next to me is Emily, Kaylin, and below me is Lilith, Elektra. We're here to talk about these end days of America, saying goodbye to the land we never really liked all that much to begin with. But yeah, I don't know about y'all, but in the last week, I don't feel like shit got better. How do y'all feel?
I don't know. I mean, I saw a couple op-eds that said Biden should pardon Trump. So I
Yeah, I
think,
saw
we're
that too.
we're
It's like
standing firm against
we should do
fascism
that.
for sure.
We should pardon Trump because that would unify America. That's what it was. That's what the problem's in this whole time. The whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
time is Trump has it's the pesky thing. It's like with him being found guilty of 34 felonies and walking out of the courtroom. That's been the problem, is he wasn't pardoned. Like, he should
Yeah.
just be able to get away with things. If only he could do whatever the fuck he wanted without consequence, then America would be united.
Well, then you look
It
at it
would
like
be
even
healed. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah,
his son, Donald Trump Jr., killed that healthcare CEO this week, and
it's
no
true. He
no
did
one's
do
doing anything about
that.
that. I mean, I saw the pictures. It sure looked like Donald Trump
It
Jr.
was
to me.
I thought it was
I
Charlie
mean,
Kirk, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Donald Trump Jr.
the face was too big to be Charlie Kirk.
I thought
You
it was
wouldn't be able to
Charlie
see
Kirk. Yeah,
if he had a
he was
mask
too good
on. You
looking,
wouldn't
wasn't
be
he?
able
He
to.
was way too good looking for me to be Charlie Kirk. Don Jr. Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah,
exactly who did it.
it was
Yeah.
definitely Don Jr. Let's report it to the FBI.
I mean, the FBI is watching us.
Yeah, exactly. It's Don Jr. It's mystery solved. Go get him. Go get him, boys.
Give me that $10,000 reward.
That's like, yeah, that's a weak sauce. It's like, I mean, we'll see. I mean, yeah, that was a thing. I mean, I don't even know how much I even really want to talk about it. It's like, yeah,
I just wanted to
yeah,
implicate Don Jr. in
yeah.
that.
Just point out the fact that was in fact Donald Trump Jr.
It
that murdered
wasn't
that
that.
man. Yeah, I agree with that.
It was in New York. Who's from New York? Donald Trump
Look, I
Jr.
think Donald Trump Jr. is from New York. I
Yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
tracks. Like, it really.
Who does big game hunting and kills things?
Well, that'd be Don Jr. Yeah,
Donald Trump Jr. Yeah.
yeah. And what I've heard is man is the most dangerous game of all.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
even
that's
that.
that's the thing.
And then of course, there's not going to be any justice. So of course it's Trump. I mean,
Yeah,
that tracks for everything.
So we should definitely pardon him because that'll fix everything. That'll make everything better. So we pardon Donald Trump. That's a good move. That's great strategy, I think.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
had hope, all this stuff that's going on from Democrats and leftists is not filling me with hope that we're gonna have a stand here.
Hang
Well,
on. I don't want to hear none of that negative Nancy stuff, because last week Chuck Schumer said that he has faith that Senate Republicans will do the right thing.
And Nancy Pelosi has a plan. And
Yeah.
so
Oh, I heard that she's gonna shake up leadership. That's
no
what I heard.
way.
yeah.
Nancy Pelosi is gonna shake up Dem leadership. That's what I
Wow.
heard. Yeah.
Wow.
Is that
So
going
we
to
got
include
that.
her
We
and
got that
Schumer?
going for us. I doubt it.
No, not shake up leadership that way.
Okay. Okay.
God.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm being silly.
Don't
Yeah,
you know how Democrats work?
Yeah,
Politicians.
take away power from the ones that are actually doing things.
Yeah, the people in power really been fucking
Like,
this up.
we
Yeah,
need
Nancy?
Liz Cheney and Mitch McConnell in here. That's what the problem is. There's not enough outreach to the conservatives. There's not enough outreach to the non-Trump Republicans. That's what's wrong with the
I
Democratic
mean, that's what's going to
Party.
happen in like
Yeah,
8
they're too
years.
far to the left.
In
Yeah.
8 years, the Democrats are going to be running a presidential candidate who's going to make Trump look like a leftist. They're just going to keep going further to. Oh, really? I mean, Biden's further to the right than Reagan was. I mean,
That's not true.
It
Like,
is
I mean,
true.
in
It
what way?
absolutely is
I'm
true.
busting your ass on this.
Yeah.
Name one way in which Biden was to the right of Ronald Reagan.
Immigration policy.
That's true. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Reagan's
Yeah.
immigration policy was pretty open. But I mean, like,
And he hasn't done much.
Name one. All right.
Yeah.
Name
Okay.
one more.
Name two.
Name two more.
I mean, Democrats
name
haven't
4.
done anything.
Nah, Democrats are dog shit on immigration, but like, but
They haven't done
immigration's not.
anything.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh,
is
you
'cause
want me to listen? You're
immigration's-
gonna let me talk?
She doesn't.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm the
I was
worst.
gonna say in the whatever 40 years since Reagan, Democrats haven't done anything to like stop all the economic things that he did. As a matter of fact, they've exacerbated those as well. So, yeah, these guys are getting pulled to the right, and personal opinion, and I might get some flack from this, and I don't care. I think far leftists who take themselves out of the party, and they say, well, how come the Democrats don't come our way? It's like, well, for 40 years you've been slowly saying, like, I'm voting for, in 2000 it was voting for whoever instead of Al Gore, and then it was Jill
Ralph
Stein.
Nader.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it was Ralph Nader,
it's
and then
like,
whomever, and
I
Jill
hear
Stein,
you, but you can't remove yourself from the table and then expect to have a say. And this has been 40 years now. They've been saying, well, fuck you. Well, fuck you. And I agree. Like, they're not everything we want, but
it's all
this is
moot
where we are
point. It's
today.
over.
It's like, yeah, they're not,
It's
they're
all
not,
gone. Like,
they're
it's
not
like it's
listening to
done.
you at
It doesn't
all. It's
matter.
done.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all over. Like, it's like we can talk about like where we went wrong or how this country fucked up so bad, but it's like that's arguing over silliness. It's like at this point, it's like it's pure survival and damage control. And so it's like, what are we gonna do now? And like, to me, it seems like any reasonable human being, like anyone that's planning on staying, like I really don't. I see 3 options, and that's acquiesce, violently resist, or flee. Like that's like your options. Like that's it. Like there are no other options than that. Like this is fascism, and it's coming hard. And
But I just want to continue on that last thing. It's like here in Michigan, a big Muslim population's not voting for Joe Biden, and now they're acting surprised that Donald Trump is pro-Israel. And so it's
right,
like they abandoned Biden, where if Biden would have, or if Harris would have won, they would have had
at
an
least they
opportunity.
would have had
They
some
would have been
influence.
influence there. Instead, they voted for Trump for, in their mind, he was going to make things better, and now they have no say in
Yeah,
that administration. And this is the thing: the left has been doing this since the '80s. Where we're always just like, Clinton was bad, and a group of people said, well, we're not going to support Clinton, and then we lost it. We lost to Bush, because of that. And, I don't want to argue anymore. I'm leaving.
yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. It's like
not
I
my
give up.
circus anymore.
I
Not
give
my
up.
circus
It's like
anymore.
it's like we were talking before the show, and it was just like it's like it's like looking around. It's just like dealing with people. This is such a hard period because like it's the calm before the storm, and we all see what's coming.
Are either of
Well, you're
you
gonna say
in your
something.
social circles in your lives getting a lot of crap for bailing?
I'm not getting a lot of crap. I'm getting a lot of gaslighting. I'm getting a
Mm,
whole lot of like, oh, you're overreacting. It's not going to be that bad. That's what I'm getting from my immediate circles. Is like, it's like, oh, yeah, I don't think it's not going to go down like that. I'm getting a lot of "it can't happen here" rhetoric.
kind of,
Like,
yeah.
and yeah, and it's like, oh, like you're just being an extremist. It's
Mm,
like, well, I'm not the one that said Hunter Biden should get the death penalty. Like, I mean, that's not what that seems kind of extreme to me. That's the president elect. Like, I'm not the one that like held a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. That seems pretty extreme to me. Like, I don't
mm,
feel like I'm the extremist because I think Donald Trump is going to behave in the way we already have seen him behave. Like, it's like,
mm,
that seems pretty not extreme to me. Like, I mean, that's what's wild is like the amount of people that think he's all of a sudden going to be reasonable, or that there's going to be like, it's going to be benign. Like, it's like, we all were here. Like, there's this
well,
yeah, go on.
and one of my main disappointments is what I feel like I'm hearing from a lot of people is they're counting on ineptitude to be our savior here. Like,
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
and I just am not comfortable, putting all my eggs in he's too inept to really enact these horrendous things. It's like he's surrounding himself with a lot of people, and the president doesn't really have that much power. He's got the influence, but it's all the people he puts in place. And if they're getting rid of the career civil servants in favor of political cronies, like the way it all works is going to change very quickly.
Like
but
overnight.
it's also the administration might be the least of your concerns because these wackadoos are all now, it's open season on whatever they want to do.
That's exactly right.
So
the people.
My circle, well, my trans circle is you two. So y'all haven't given me any shit yet. I do have a small group on Facebook that we have a chat with, and they kind of like gave me the whole shiz, like, gotta fight, this is my country, I'm fighting for it. And and I was just like, you know what? And I told Amanda this, just like, I have too many stories of people who are just like, yeah, my grandpa left Germany as soon as he could.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't want to live as a second class citizen if I can avoid it. And if you want to stay here and fight, that's fine. But I just think like it can't be just trans
Coming
people.
from people who've never fought ever.
Finish as we're seeing post-election, like we're already losing people that would have legislatively been on our side. They're already talking about that stuff. And so, yeah, I have like my family, a couple of them have been like, well, why don't you just go down and come back and see what's happening? And I'm just like, I can't afford to see what's happening and spend 2 weeks where I'm going and then come back for 2 weeks and see how the inauguration days goes. It's just like, that's fine. And I've said this every week since the election. Damn it. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope stupidly I'm living somewhere else in 6 months. And it's like, man, I sure did overreact. But you know what? I'd be happy for that to happen. But if it doesn't, I'm just going to take care. And we've had this conversation as well as we've got a month and a half, 2 months from election day to inauguration day to figure things out. And if you're, if you're just thinking it's business as usual, then good on you. If you think that there's going to be a violent revolution in the streets of trans people and that they're somehow going to have the backing of enough people to overcome even just local police units, I mean, good luck with that. Again, I hope I'm wrong. And even if I'm wrong, I'm probably not coming back.
Yeah, that's the other thing about it is it's not like this idea of like ditching out and being an expat is new to me. It's like this it's not like I've never thought about this concept before. It's like I've lived in the United States. I've never lived anywhere else. I've been other places, but I've never lived anywhere else. And I can say like from personal experience and paying attention, like I've been paying attention. I've voted in every fucking election since I turned 18. I worked in politics. Like I know what's up, and I have seen nothing but decline and failure from this country since I was a little kid, and since I was born, I've never seen it get better. I've only watched it sink and sink and sink and sink.
Well, let me turn the question around, since you probably have the biggest trans network. Like have you been getting pushback on any of your plans, or what is the thought that's going to happen?
Yeah, the thing that I'm hearing is that like, sort of the same sort of thing. We need to fight. This is where we come together. This is yeah, the things that you're fearing aren't going to happen. That's too extreme. It would take too long. It would take too much to happen, all of those sort of things. And yeah, it's just it's funny that you say kind of gaslighting, and I feel like that resonates a little bit of it does feel like it does feel a bit like gaslighting, like we're sort of all gaslighting ourselves. And when you point out these things about the Democratic Party and the power that they've had and the lack of action they've had to actually fix the things that I think Reagan did some of the worst, the most damage to the country in the massive tax cuts to the rich and deregulation and things like that. But yeah, there's been so much inaction for so long. And I just, it's I put forth this question trying to sway minds on the anti-trans bathroom bills of like, why now? Like, think to yourself of like, why is this important now when 10 and 20 years ago we didn't need transgender bans in bathrooms? And I think the same thing is kind of applied to this of like, well, why is the time to fight now? Like, why is the time to come together and really push for trans rights and to fight and to push back? Why is this now? Like, it just seems so late. It seems so late in the game. Now that we've lost, like, let's go out there and now that the game's over, let's really put in all our effort, guys.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. It's just I think it's the same rhetoric I've heard my whole life. It's like oh, this sucks. Like we should do something. Like how long have people been talking? How long have people been like posting and mumbling and murmuring about a general strike? Like since 20 years. Like I've seen it. Like everyone's like, oh, we should be. Maybe this is it. Well, general strike. Like we don't do anything in this country. We're lazy and we're cowards. Like and we don't fight. Like it's like no one does everything. Our protests are pathetic. Like I was at the WTO protests in like 1999 in Seattle, and like that was the last thing that was the one time I've seen protesting actually work. And the reason it worked is because it wasn't nonviolent. Like people were wrecking shit. Like, and they had to bring in the riot squads and the fucking and use military bring in the like National Guard and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The protesters weren't hurting people, but they were destroying a lot of property. And like the idea that like when I was watching the recent protests like that took place in Seattle after like it was like the Black Lives Matter protests, and like I was watching it was while I was there and I was watching him, and like the strategy seemed to be go where the cops tell you and stand in front of them and let them and be a sponge for tear gas and rubber bullets. And that's what the strategy was. And it was just like, that seems like a really stupid strategy to me, because like they had 50,000 people and they put them all in one place. And it was the designated place that the cops told them to go. Where if they had broken that up in 10 groups of 5,000 and didn't go where the cops were, like, I mean, that would have been way more effective, right? Because like the cops were mobilized. They were bunkered in and they had their position, and like the cops would have had to remove, and they're slow. They're a juggernaut. Juggernauts are slow. You don't beat a juggernaut face on, and you definitely don't beat a juggernaut by standing in front of it and waiting for it to do something.
You definitely don't win a battle by going where your opponent tells you to go and waiting for them.
Like they didn't even they ignored the first part of
and then I mean this goes back to 2000 when they started with the protest zones for the Democratic convention, and it was just like, oh, you protest, we've got a block of with a 10-foot cage around it that will put you in and you can protest. And people were like, yeah, I gotta go protest. It's just like, okay.
Well, just
that was a direct response to the WTO too, is what that was.
Yeah. That was all. This was like,
protesting's been such bullshit in this country for a long time. Remember the Occupy Wall Street worthless shit of like how big that was and how it did absolutely nothing.
I just saw a post, something I'd posted on Facebook when those happened. I was in Charlottesville at the time, and like, the Charlottesville police department or the mayor's office order moved them to this park that was nowhere near downtown. And one of the leaders of the protest was complaining about the Wi-Fi access at this park. And it's like, why did you, if you really believe it, why are you moving out of the downtown area? Why are you moving from where you're having your protest? But and that's because, I mean, partially because the news media, I mean, we know that in the 2020 stuff, we knew that there were cops undercover who were doing damage and fomenting action disguised as protesters. And we know that, and then we let them tell us that this isn't the way to protest, or this isn't the time to protest gun control. And we believe these stupid things. Oh, you know what we really need to do is we need to pardon Donald Trump. Oh,
Well,
the real reason trans people aren't successful in their protests is they need to be nicer to
To
J.K. Rowling.
J.K.
I saw
Rowling.
that
Yeah,
one this
that
week
one
too.
was.
So like instead of like taking in the world and forming our own opinion of what would work and what we need to do and how we're going to survive, we look at the news media and we're just like, yeah, that person who got killed by the cops deserved to get killed by the cops because they got arrested for having weed in their pocket when they were 12.
Well, you know, the thing about protests, the reason that you know the way to do a good protest, like you can't disrupt things. Like you shouldn't be disrupting anything. Like
That's correct.
that's like over the line.
Yeah, that's no good. That's not what anyone would want. Like, that's not what Nancy Pelosi would want. She would want you to protest very nicely. The way to protest is to sit quietly where they tell you to sit and be quiet. Like, sit in your seats and sit still.
This is what we can all do. We can all do this today. We can have a moment right now. We're just in your house, sitting quietly. Let's just protest this moment.
Wait, are you guys first starting now? I've been protesting this whole time.
Yeah. But we're giving our audience a chance to catch up
I'm sorry.
Join let's
make
it into
quietly
a movement.
to yourself. Let's have a moment of silence. Those get a lot done.
Let's make it into a moment where we bring everybody together to protest all together in our homes quietly by ourselves. Like this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to affect change.
Isn't that just called prayer?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, the whole thing is just like, it's preposterous. And it's like you said, it's like Lilith said earlier before we went on, it's just like how like the mood is just generally so foul everywhere you go now. And it really is. It's like I feel like I get, like, when I go out, I don't really go out and do a lot. When I do leave my house, it's usually to go shopping or something like that. And a lot of the interaction I have with strangers is like at the checkout counter or something. And even there, it's like the kind of response I get is that you always got that like sort of like empty hollow, oh, how are you? I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well today. Have a great day kind of thing. That the very hollow, shallow interaction that you have with a customer service representative at any given moment. But like there's always a way to cut through that and actually just talk to them like a human being. And like, even when I do that now, it's like what I get back from them is just it's a lot of pallid, like, yeah.
I mean, you think at least like the 67 or whatever million that voted for Trump would be happy. Like, they're the most miserable. I don't think they'll ever be happy. I don't know what would make them happy. I mean, actually, those are the people. Those are the dudes. I always, every time, like when I started watching when it first came out, the Handmaid's Tale, I was just like, this is so stupid. There's no way a bunch of white guys would give up their access to having sex just to run around in black with guns and abuse people. And it's like, actually, yeah, that's most of the white dudes in this country. If you just gave them a gun and told them to like march around and like harass people, they'd be like, yeah, like, by the way, you're never gonna have sex with a woman again, and you're just gonna get bare rashes. Like, yeah, but I get to abuse people, right? It's like, that's where these people are. I don't understand the mindset. I don't understand what is going on. And I'm not gonna New York Times it and like go and try to understand it. It's just like, people need to take care of their own shit. You've got a problem, you should really look into that. But if you want to blame me, or you want to blame an immigrant who is picking tomatoes in Florida, then I guess blame them. But you're always going to be miserable. Even if they got rid of all the immigrants and all the me's left, you'd still be miserable. None of this is going to make you unmiserable until you reflect on why you're so fucking miserable.
The immigration thing is such the biggest red herring of all of them, because it's not any issue at all. Like there's no, immigration is not a problem in any way whatsoever. It's a completely made up problem. It's literally just pure racism. Like, that's all it is. Like, who the fuck cares if people are coming in this country or not? Like, the idea that they're stealing jobs is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How the fuck do you steal a job? Like, that's
I mean, the
not
one
a
dude's
thing.
head of the
Like,
Doge.
it's like,
That one immigrant's head of Doge now. So, you know,
that's
the
true.
department.
That's
Yeah, I
one
mean,
illegal immigrant that
Department
did
of
come here
Government.
illegally
If
and work
yeah,
here illegally. That's like now the richest man in the world, you know, and you know, is like, yeah, now gonna be in charge of government cuts.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome here. It's gonna be great. Like, you
Oh,
know,
and then
it's
I saw the
been
thing.
great. It's just gonna get better.
You're all into Bitcoin. I saw this new bill now where
I
the
do love
government that like
Bitcoin. Yeah.
one of the senators is proposing a bill that the US government buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoins and then not be able to sell them or exchange them for 20 years. And it's basically just like a huge grift to people who own Bitcoins. Because honestly,
Yeah, that's what it
I mean,
is. It would make all of
unless
everyone that
someone wants
holds Bitcoin, it would go.
unless you have someone who wants to buy your Bitcoin's essentially worthless. And so having the government say, yeah, we're going to buy $1 billion worth. And of course, that's also going to, just them buying $1 billion worth in one huge shot's going to jack up the price as well. But
Yeah, it really will.
and because it's not $1 billion, it is like 100,000 Bitcoins. So right now would
They're
be
over 100,000 a
yeah.
piece right now.
Yeah.
So
So
whatever
right
that
now
is, that's
right
about
now
$1
it'd be
billion.
over
Yeah,
$1 billion. But as soon as they
100,000
started
times
buying it,
100,000. Let's do the
yeah.
math.
So just like, yeah, here's our newest scam. We're just going to give your tax dollars to Bitcoin enthusiasts. You're like, cool.
That is in fact $10 billion.
Yeah. So
100,000 Bitcoins is $10 billion.
there you go.
That's what that is.
There you go.
Give or take. It's actually more than that because it's, like I said, it's over 100,000 right now. And look that up too. See what Bitcoin's at right now.
Yes. How does someone steal a job that you wouldn't work in the first place? That's
Right,
a
exactly.
great
That's
question.
yep. Because all these right-wing MAGA fuckers, all these right-wing MAGA 65-year-olds really want to fucking clean hotel rooms and pick strawberries. Like they're dying. They're like, it's all I've ever wanted. The clean toilets in a Marriott. Like,
or have their hotel stays and strawberries cost 2 or 3 times as much because whatever. Sorry.
Well, and then the thing is that, you know, they're taking these, they're stealing all of these low paying jobs that are horrible, backbreaking, and nobody wants to do, and then they're taking all of that windfall of money that they make from it, and they're buying all the houses. Like, it's just, they need to be stopped, Lilith. They need to be stopped.
Me? Why are you calling me?
Well, I need you to realize this. I need you to join my protest of all of these injustices.
Okay, I'm joining your protest.
Bring that up.
All right. I mean, I did what I could.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, you joined the fight, and that's what matters.
You did your part. That's good. Nancy Pelosi would be proud.
Yes.
She'd be great.
Hey, someone dropped a pallet of bricks off in front of my house. What's that about? FBI is watching. They heard we were protesting and they started setting us up.
That's not bricks. That's soup for your family.
Freaking awesome.
It's just wild. I mean, I'm at the point now too, and it's like I don't even know what I'm gonna do. My plan was to go to Toronto, and like I kind of had a thing there, and then like that's seeming less and less likely as the days go by, and so now it's like, well, I don't know. At this point, like I don't really have much option other than to figure out a way to make money freelancing, doing whatever, freelance writing or freelancing, whatever. Just making money online in some way and then just having it go. I mean, that is what I'm going to do with it. I am just going to shove everything in Bitcoin. I already did. Like, it's just, that's where my money is. And like that way I can just cash it out for any currency I want. Like, it's just, it's fine. And like, it's, and people bitch about it too. They're like, oh, it's volatile. You know why it's volatile? It's because it goes up sometimes. US dollar just goes like this. Like, it's like,
I mean, it's volatile because it's imaginary.
Yeah, because sometimes it goes up. That's what makes it volatile.
Up.
Like, it's
made
the
up.
US dollar's steady.
Real,
it just keeps going down and down and down and down. And like, and so there's that. Like, and it's just wild to me. It's just like, it's like, okay, like, I mean, like people look at investing and they're like, oh, well, like, oh, look at what Netflix. Oh, if I had gotten in on Netflix when it was early, oh, how about that? That would have been great. And it's like, when you compare what Bitcoin did when it was early to like what it's at now, it blows everything else out of the fucking water. It's like when Bitcoin first started, it was like one Bitcoin was worth 5 cents. And like I just said, right now, 15 years later, like one Bitcoin is worth over $100,000. So it's like if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin when it was new and just sat on it, like you'd have like $250 million
Wait a minute.
right now.
That's more than five. That's more than 5 cents.
Yeah, it's a lot more than 5 cents.
I will tell you this: as long as I have access to sheet cake and I have my 2 feet, I'm never going to be in a place where I can't make money. My OnlyFans, where I'll be stepping on sheet cakes.
I mean, I'm a stone's throw away from starting an OnlyFans. Just like, it's just fuck it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm so not into that sort of thing. And I don't want to, it's like, but I don't know if my feet are hot enough. That's the problem, is I would definitely want to do foot stuff. But I don't know. You know what I could get is I could just get a furry outfit and just do furry OnlyFans. And that would be another like little node to lock into.
Friendly fans. Friendly fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also a little late in the game to be getting into like the OnlyFans thing. Like that's now a thing where it's like if you're rich and famous, you'll make a shit ton of money, and if you're not, it's like,
yeah, that's already at.
Do I need to spend 12 hours a day on Reddit in different subreddits being like, oh, give me a like and I'll send you some pics?
That's the part of it that I hate.
As much as I love being watched, I just don't have that. I don't want to put the effort in.
I don't want to do this social medias thing. I can't live on social media like that. It drives me crazy. I just made the jump to Blue Sky, like finally, and I'm still on Facebook, but I'm on now. I don't spend any more time on social media. I kind of just divvy the time up. I'm less on Facebook and a little bit more on Blue Sky, but really I'm just kind of getting away from both of them because social media pretty much blows. Like it's just a place to argue with people. My friend Brian he said it really eloquently. He said, like, social media is the place where everyone's always right and angry at everyone that isn't. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, I mean, I've used it as an excuse forever, my Facebook account, of being like, well, I needed to promote my band or I needed to promote my thing. And it's like, but I don't promote anything. I'm terrible at it. Like, I don't, like, what I use Facebook for primarily now is groups and contacts and meeting people. And in that defense, that is where it's good, because I have made friends, like good friends on Facebook that, like, you know, like have helped me out, and like who I consider friends, even though I've never met them in the flesh before. And that's definitely the case. Like, but you know, the whole rest of it, like, can kind of go fuck itself. Like, yeah. I don't even have an Instagram. Everyone's supposed to have an Instagram. You're supposed to have an Instagram. I don't know why. You have 6 Instagrams? What does that mean? Jesus Christ! How do you keep up with that? Like,
I don't. Yeah. They're like none of them. Like my personal one gets a post like every 8 months. My poor cat hasn't had an Instagram post in years. That's why your OnlyFans
isn't getting any hits, though. So you got to be on Insta. You got to be like, hey, fam, I've got dropped another video today.
Yo, chocolate cake.
Yeah. And then I see like the things that pop up in like reels, and the things that have hits, and the things that are popular on TikTok. And it's just like, I don't care about this. I've never been able to tap into that inane pop culture nonsense. Like, it's just, I've never had my finger on that pulse. I've never gotten it. I've always seen it as vapid and stupid. And like, that's all that is. And there doesn't seem to be any way to manipulate it other than getting lucky. Like, it's just like, you just have to like be like you have to somehow randomly do a thing that got hits. I have a friend who lives in Atlanta, and he has a multi-million-dollar production company. And the reason he's able to do that is because he had one of the first viral videos on YouTube, and it was just because it was some wedding thing. Like it was like a wedding. He took some, it was like one of the first like this happened at a wedding, and it was like a shocker thing, like where like someone at their wedding, like, you know, got proposed to on like the back of a pickup truck or something, and it was like it went viral and it got 14 million views like really early on in YouTube, when that was like crazy. No one had ever done that, and it propelled him to fame. And now he makes videos for like Big Boy and like fucking like Andre 3000 and shit, and like, and does a bunch of music videos for a bunch of rappers in Atlanta. And like, he's, like I said, he's got a multi-million-dollar production company. He's doing quite well for himself. And he was like my neighbor. Like we were shit kicking kids in Milwaukee, and it's wild to see it. But like that's it. It's like he got lucky. He got lucky. He like did a thing, and that it went crazy, and because of that, he was able to capitalize on it. And it's like you look at like Mr. Beast. Like how did Mr. Beast get anywhere? It's like he was just a guy that was like saying stuff, and like all of a sudden he went viral, and then he went viral, and then he sold like bars, and then he like started giving away money. It's like, okay, yeah, like it's all just random. Like it's just.
Well, and you know, kind of go back to what you said, where you see the things and you're like, oh, and I'll see stuff and I'll be like, oh, I could totally do something like that. I could do sort of this. And I spend like 15 minutes thinking about it. And then I go and do the dishes and move on with my life. Like it's, you know, it's like, I don't actually want to put myself together, set up the camera, do you know, do all the stuff for, again, you know, what's the chance that it's going to hit? You know, I've done plenty of videos. I posted plenty of stuff, and it's like I've got some that in a week have hit 2,000. It's just like, ooh, wow.
Ooh, yeah.
It's so viral.
I did a video sketch probably over a decade ago that it was on MySpace. That's how long ago it was.
Oh, nice.
And it made it to like the featured video page and got like 50,000 views in like an hour and a half.
Wow.
And it was cool, but then like
you didn't capitalize on it. And
it's just like
production company, like my friend did.
People who want to do comedy, people who, you know, whether it's stand up or whatever, you have to love doing it first. You can't go in and say like, oh, if I do TikTok, I can make X amount of dollars.
That's
you have
exactly
to love
right.
whatever you're doing on TikTok. And you know, I don't love doing any of that.
I mean, here we are saying that also from a streaming YouTube channel. Like, I mean, we're literally on YouTube and Twitch right now.
Yeah, I do this because I like
bitching about it. Like that's what I'm saying, is we're doing it because we do love doing this, and I love doing this. I don't like promoting myself. I don't like being on Insta going, here's my hashtags, let's check this out, you know, look at me, I'm great. Like that's what I hate about it. It makes me feel greasy.
That's the thing. Like, we've found what we like doing. It's just it's hard for other people to find this or somehow or
maybe
whatever,
they don't
you know,
care. Like that's the other thing, is like maybe people aren't interested in a bunch of like, you know, middle-aged trans women like bitching about America. Like, you know?
I am so fucking old. Yeah.
Frankly, I agree, but it's also like, you know, they do the thing is like, if you had $1 million, you could just do one thing and it's supposed to like whatever that thing is, you should do your, like, I don't have anything. Like I just want to be and exist.
I want to be cool.
And I don't even want to be cool. I don't give a shit.
I want to be cool.
Cool is other people's perception of you, and I don't control that, and I don't give a shit what other people think. But it's just like, I just want to be and do what I want, and I don't want to have a job, and I don't really care about making money. It's just like, we're here for more things than making money and producing more than we did last year, and you know, whatever the fuck we're supposed to be doing. You know, and so that's what I want to do, whatever the fuck I want, and it probably doesn't pay.
I want to just take a second. By the way, like when I just said that thing before about like, who gives a fuck, y'all are here, and thank you for being here, because you all give a fuck, and that's great. Like, and
Yeah,
like, I didn't mean to
you.
like be like, oh, we're talking to no one and we're playing to an empty room and why are we even doing this? I didn't mean it like that. Like, it's like we really actually do appreciate all of you that are here, everyone that's in the chat and both of them.
Since we've gone and we're talking with the chat and everything, we need to kind of clarify a couple things.
Yeah,
There
let's
was
do that.
there
Let's do
the
chat
cake
stuff.
chat has gone off.
Cake chat is
I
going
mean,
off.
I know what the people want.
Why?
That's why I always bring it up.
But many of our audience don't understand why you've been talking about cake so much. What is the feet in cake thing?
Oh, that's like a fetish thing. Like
Oh, it's very much a fetish thing.
dudes want to see women put their feet in cakes or their ass in cakes. And so it's a very if you want to be watched, but you don't want people to see you having sex, and you just want them to see your feet, you can just step in cakes. I don't know if you can make a ton of money doing that, but I bet if you were already famous and you made an account doing that on OnlyFans, you'd make a ton of money. Like if Fran Drescher just made an OnlyFans where she steps on cakes and then giggles in her nanny voice, like I bet you she'd make $1 trillion the first week. I would say if you're not Fran Drescher, opening up your own stepping on cakes OnlyFans might see the money trickle in a little slower.
I want to just for the record say I love Fran Drescher. She stepped up to the plate as the SAG union leader and she was awesome. And Fran Drescher kicks ass.
Nice.
Love you, Fran. You rule. Thanks for the work that you did. You helped a lot of people. She did. She helped a whole lot of fucking people.
Nothing great. I said was anti-Fran Drescher.
I know. I'm just saying that. I'm clarifying. I
suppose maybe my imitation of her laugh could have.
That was what because I make kind of fun of her.
Could be a little. Could have been seen as a little insulting, but that was pretty spot on for her laugh.
Bad. It wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. I was thinking like, one of the things because I think like maybe like because I'm not super like hypersexual, and that's why like OnlyFans will like probably wouldn't work for me. It's because it's like I feel like if that's really gonna work well for someone that is a hypersexualized person, that's someone that just fucking loves sex and doing sex stuff and like all about that. And it's not really me very much. It's like I like sex fine, but like I'm not like all about it. Like it's just like an aspect of life. Like and so like but like I don't know, like I feel like it's like because I'm overweight and it's like I think I'm pretty, but like I mean there's gotta be a niche for like an overweight middle-aged trans woman wearing a Guy Fawkes mask just doing whatever. It's like if I could do that, like maybe I'll do that. Yeah.
I mean,
in fact I'd be amazed if that didn't exist already.
I mean, I can send you some vids if you want to.
A Sonic the Hedgehog mask. Do you think that would fly? What do you think would be the most successful mask? Chat, let us know. What do you think what is your OnlyFans? What do you think would be the most successful mask to wear on OnlyFans to do? Like to do sex
I think
stuff
Sonic's a great idea. I think like if Sonic you could put together a Sonic furry, like you do well.
Peach, maybe, I don't know, something video gamey.
Jason Voorhees.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, just the hockey mask. Yeah.
I don't know if that's all the rage with the kids these days. Like, it's kind of antiquated. It'd be like, I'm gonna put a Cary Grant
well, the kids are spending all their money on avocado toast. They don't have money for OnlyFans. You got to know your audience. Your audience is like 65-year-old boomers. Like that's who you're.
It's House Republicans is what it is.
Yeah. Mime says, let's not bring Sonic into this, okay? Like, let's keep it clean here, y'all.
I will say, but they also say, I'm afraid Sonic might do too well, which is exactly my point. It's like, I think I just may have struck gold. Like here, I sort of hit the main vein here because like now that I'm thinking about it, like I might have to just take a peek on Amazon and see what a halfway decent Sonic Max is.
Honestly, what you need to do is you need to couple this up, and you need to be Princess and Bowser. You have to have your partner has to have a matching.
I don't have a partner. I don't want to have to rely on a
Fred
partner.
and
I'm
Wilma
talking about just,
Flintstone.
I'm just going to fucking masturbate like with a Sonic mask on.
Well, then you
Like,
don't have to show your face. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. That's hey, I don't have to show my face. I just do it with the Sonic mask on.
Well,
But
you
if
don't
you
need the
do that, don't
mask
you have to
either.
masturbate like really fast? Like
I don't
you'd have
know.
to.
I don't know. I've never done it.
And you have to do the sound
I've never
effects
watched-
with like
I've
picking
never
up,
watched
picking
an
up, like,
OnlyFans.
picking up the coins.
I think that's at the end, Lilith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until that.
No,
there's
that's
the
when all the
spinning sound.
rings fly out. It's like,
Yeah.
ding.
Oh, we took this in a bad direction. Very bad. This is the darkest timeline officially. Sonic skeet porn. Oy.
I love it. Yeah. This is kind of where we're at. Like, I don't know. I don't have anything really else to really talk about. I've got some sort of weird good news I can talk about a little bit.
Okay.
Go for it.
Lilith
I mean,
was
we're
gonna say
almost to the
something.
end of the episode.
That's what I'm saying.
I got nothing
I'm
today.
gonna make
It's
it
like,
to
well,
the
we
top
made
of
it
the hour.
45
Like,
minutes.
maybe
Yeah.
got
10 more.
No,
We get
15
10
minutes
more
to
minutes.
stretch
yeah,
here.
15 minutes. Yeah.
10 more minutes, and
We
like
don't need
some
something to
commercials.
talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I do have a thing, which is I did get I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it's not for sure yet, and it's just everything's kind of up in the air still. It's in the early stages. But I did get an offer from a YouTube channel that I'm a big fan of to come do some shows on their channel. I'm not leaving this one, by the way. I'm still going to be doing this every week, and nothing's going to change here. But I very well at some point in January, I'm going to be on this other YouTube channel that I'll tell you about later. Because I don't want to jinx it. I don't know what I can and can't say. I don't know, like,
yeah.
But anyway, it's a YouTube channel that I've been following for a while and I've been really into, and it's a nonprofit that runs it. And I just I just knocked on their door. I sent them an email and I was like, "Hey, could I be on your show?" And they were like, "Yeah." Like, sent me back.
Wait, did you not
I mean, it
send
was a
them
little more
anything?
involved
Did
than
you
that.
send
No,
them
I didn't
anything?
send them anything. Maybe I sent them a link to like this channel, maybe. But like I didn't really send them much. I just wrote a letter like, "Hey, I'd like to kind of do this, but I'm willing to do these other things because I don't expect you to like just like take a random person off the street that knocks on you, sends you an email and give them a show." And it's like, but that's kind of what they did. They just kind of like, they gave me an interview and then they said they liked me and then they want to just put me right on shows right away. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll just do that. Then I don't have to work my way up, and that's nice. Like I said, it's not for sure. And once it is for sure and I'm actually doing it and I know for sure that I'm going to be on the show, then I'll tell y'all what it is. So like, there's a little tease. If you want to know what show I'm on, subscribe to my OnlyFans.
That's what I should do. I should get my studio set up and have you, I'll just try to see if I can get it set up this week and have you come do a live show on Tuesday.
I'd be happy to. Yeah. We can do it Tuesday. I would have to be in the evening, but yeah.
Yeah,
if
6
you
p.m.
do that, sounds great. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll talk more. I'll do a live show on Tuesday. I love it. Wow, my Tuesday's full as fuck. I'm into it.
The studio version, the live studio version of the transgender show. We've done 3 episodes live thus far, but this is going to be the first time that will hopefully be in a semi-permanent studio setup that will be easy to replicate. Because in the past it was set it up, tear it down, set it up, tear it down, and that's a pain in the ass. So
it is really. So that's good. Yeah. We'll discuss further in the coming moments.
Perfect.
Lilith, what are you doing about
in the coming moments? Like
on the coming day.
Okay.
I mean, I might call because I'm driving up. So after I do the shows today, I'm hopping in a car and I'm driving up to Nevada City, and it's about a 7-hour drive, and I'm visiting my friend up there who's, is just a friend of mine. And
you had a question for me?
Me? I did kind of. I was asking like, yeah, I got distracted. I don't know how.
You started talking about your travel plans.
You did start talking about travel plans.
So after this, I'm gonna cook up a pizza.
I don't know why I was even talking about that. I
my
had
thing,
reasons for everything, and they were all
well,
just.
I think you were talking about what happened with you this week. I got reached out to by an organization I used to work with in the past. I used to do summer camp with them, working with young people in Alabama, doing like leadership training and improv and communications with them. And they asked me to come on and do some freelance writing for a new civil rights project that they're starting. So hopefully that'll be it. And then I'm also getting back to life coaching and executive coaching and whatever kind of coaching you want. I've coached people through all kinds of things. If you want to coach, feel free to reach out to the Transverse and they'll tell you how to find me. If you don't, that's cool. I'll be fine. I've always managed and I will still manage. So
I gotta get into this coaching deal because you don't need any
yeah.
sort of licensure or anything, right?
You don't, but I wouldn't trust anyone who didn't have training, and there are a lot of people out there who don't, and I do. I'm certified, and
Good, cool.
but yeah, I agree. It's there are a lot of shysters out there, and that's why I don't. If someone doesn't believe in coaching or they don't want to talk to me, they're like, that's cool. I've had success working with people. For me, it's always been just like, what do you want out of your life? Like, let's make that happen. Like, you have permission to dream about what you want to be, and you have permission to make that happen. And most people don't think they have that permission. And I've that's my main approach. Where do you want to get to? And let's figure out how to get you there. Because if you really had like an elaborate dream and you were looking at the top of the mountain and you don't look at the steps to make, you're never going to make it to the top of the mountain. So, but yes, coaching is unregulated. There are a lot of bullshit people out there. But I'm certified, and if you care for that, you can.
She's good too.
If
Lilith is official and not at all bullshit. So
I mean, I'm kind of bullshit, but not as a coach. Not as a coach, but I am
as a human.
I'm kind of bullshit.
Bullshit in general.
But if I'm coaching you, I'm fully there and aware and doing things. And the other thing is, like, I've done things to help myself, and if you really want to know about coaching, like, one example is like, how do you reframe stuff? So one example I always use: if you work in an office and your boss always gives you shitty work, and you're like, my boss gives me shitty work and I hate my boss, how does that affect your relationship with your boss? What if you thought, hey, my boss gives me this work because I'm the person you trust to do it? How does that change your relationship with your boss? How does that change how you show up at work? And now I'm not telling you to go get a boss. I think you should not get a job if you don't want to, but I'm saying, how do you interact with people? How do you receive people? If you think someone hates you, they've never said it, you just believe they hate you, then for all intents and purposes, they hate you, because your interactions with that person, your interactions with other people regarding that person are going to reflect your belief that they hate you. And they probably don't hate you. Most people don't think enough about other people to have an opinion about other people. Yeah. Except me, everybody hates me.
I know people in my life that, like, I don't especially like get along with, but I wouldn't say I hate anybody. I don't know anyone that I hate. Like, it's like, and like, there's no one I know that, like, I wouldn't be able to be civil with, really.
Oh,
that was really just a broad example, not a particular call out.
Just saying, like, in general, I'm just saying that is a general statement. It's like I'm thinking about it, because it's like I think I've heard a lot of people say that, like, it's like, they hate me, and I don't like this person, or I hate them. It's like, nah. But usually it's like in some, like, it's not even a relationship. Like, usually when people hate someone, it's like, I hate Ben Shapiro. It's like I hate Taylor Swift, like, or whatever it is. Like, they hate a celebrity or something. Like,
somebody that they have no real interaction with, and that's what the internet does, right? That it gives you the ability to hate somebody, and like live out this fantasy of like, oh yeah, I boycott everything they do.
If you wanted proof that you create your own reality, social media is it. How many people do we know that have created this social media world? And according to them, that's what the world is. There are people out there who legitimately believe that you send your kid to school in the morning, and while they're at school, the school nurse gives them a sex change without you knowing. And then when the kid comes home, the kid is a different gender. There are people who legitimately believe that because they've created a world where they live in where that's what they believe. And when I tell people, like, the world is what you can create your own world, they kind of dismiss that. But here we are. We have all around us people, and I'm sorry, like that's just one that sticks out where like people build their world and they live in it, and that's what the world is to them, and it's sad and
Yeah.
frightening and
Uh-huh.
weird. That
Mhm.
how many people believe that in schools they had a kitty litter box
Kitty litter box.
so that
Mhm.
kids who believed they were cats could poop in the litter box.
It's the furry thing. You know what it
Yeah.
really
And
was though, because
people
it was a real
believe
thing.
that.
It
It
was
was a
real,
real
yeah.
thing. It was there for kids who had to pee during a
Doing an
shooter.
active shooter,
Thing.
doing an active shooter. So it was
Mhm.
like, it's wild that like this situation that the right wing caused then is blaming like on the lefties for like a really shitty solution to this really horrible fucking situation that they themselves caused. Like, and it's just like the whole thing is just wild. Like it's nuts.
So
Yeah.
as a coach, I also talk about stuff like that. Like you're creating the world you're living in. How do you create the world that you want to live in as opposed to the one you're currently stuck in?
Yeah.
And I use myself as a pretty good example of that.
You're a pretty good example of
I
stuff.
mean,
I
it
like
should. I
you.
mean, there were things out of my control that happened this year that are leading me to panic. But I'm also acting and doing what's in my best interest and doing what I feel is best for me moving forward, and taking action and controlling what you can control. And that's my advertisement for coaching. LilithElektra.com.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny
Yeah,
is I believe that all the darkest timeline stuff. I believe that that's totally possible and all that. I believe it's a matter of time, and I think some of it for me personally is getting mentally to the place where I'm ready to let it all go.
yeah,
I'm not quite there yet. I
yeah,
need some outside influence. But the thing is like the plan I have in place is something I kind of just want to do outside of the
Same.
whole situation. So it's like,
yeah.
yeah, but still it's gonna take some mental preparedness. But it's just like, yeah, even if it doesn't get darkest timeline, even if they are completely inept and like they and Schumer and Pelosi are able to rally all of these last few moral Republicans uh, to stop these things. It's just like, yeah, but I could just
I'm just gonna
go.
take
I
clubs.
mean, we joked about that. Like, we bought this place in Detroit in April, and we're like, you know what? We could have this would have been so much easier if we had just made this move out of the country before we bought the house. And looking, hindsight's always 2020, but it's just like, this is exactly the kind of stuff. I mean, honestly, as I was when I went home for Thanksgiving, telling friends that I was seeing over the holidays, they were just like, it didn't surprise them at all that I was leaving the country. And they were just like, yeah, if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. So when you said you were going to do something, we knew you were going to do it. Um, yeah, I'm a doer, not a sayer. But yeah, that's maybe why this is a little easier is that this is the kind of shit that I would be doing anyway eventually. It's just
Mhm.
a little stress because of the time crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna do a little bit of closing
Yeah.
things and tell everyone here, thanks for being here. We really do love you and we really do appreciate you showing up today because like these are rough times, I think, for
I
all of
know.
us. I don't know anyone that's doing well right now. I really don't. And so a little, even if it's just a little bit of therapy, like, a little bit of solidarity, I think that's really important. It's really nice to know that there's people out there that like, like aren't pretending like things aren't what they are, and care about others. That's a wonderful thing. And that's all of you. And thank you so much. All of that. And since you're here, while you're here, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the transfers. You should click the like button on the video. Do that. If you've got the means, join, become a member, and that's a nice thing. I don't know, Emily, does anyone get anything for doing that? There are any extras that anyone gets for being a member?
For being a member here,
Yeah.
I'm not unfortunately versed enough in the YouTubes. I should really study that and figure out what we can give the members.
You can do
Patreon
members only
subscribers get,
content. Yeah, same Patreon, same thing kind of thing.
yeah.
We'll talk about it
So
later.
making sure that I can go through, because we have several pieces of content that we have on Patreon that we should be able to, I would assume, to then unlock for anybody who's a member on YouTube. It's just probably a matter of setting a designation. So
Yeah.
I mean, we could always throw some sheet cake pics up in the Patreon. Yeah.
I mean, we could do that. We could do that. We don't have to go to OnlyFans. We can just do it right here in the trans.
Comment.
You just ruin the transverse brand entirely.
Adult content only. Only join the show. Only become a member if you're over 18.
Comment the cake flavor you want to see me step in. Comment the cake flavor you want to see me step in, and we'll make it happen.
It's so funny how willing I am to consider and go down the road of an OnlyFans account, and how much like having the transverse have adult content just sends me.
It
like,
seems wrong. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Just bad brand. Yeah, that's just bad.
After you've liked and subscribed, which I know you all did, everyone here subscribed to the channel, and that's great. Thank you so much for being subscribers to the channel, and thank you so much for liking the video.
Oh, I gotta go get a butterscotch cake.
Now that you've done that, you need to go to the Transverse store at Etsy. So that's etsy.com/thetransverse, and you can get this beauty right here. This is a t-shirt you can get that says "The Punish She Her" on it. You see that little logo there? It's covering up you, Lilith. I'm sorry. It's just covering your face right now.
That's okay.
But that's all right. So that's the Punish She Her logo there. That I don't know who designed that, Emily. Did you design that?
Yes. Yeah, it was your idea.
Emily.
The Punish She Her was your idea, and then I did all the artwork on it. I'm very happy with that one.
You can get that one. And then also you can get this delightful mug here. Actually, I'm showing. I said it's on there, but it's not. And so I have to do this. There we go. This is the mug. I didn't actually show you. I'll show you the Punish She Her, but this is the mug you can get. It says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my hormones." I did that. I made that design. I think that's pretty clever and very funny. It's got a nice little Art Deco 50s lady on it with a wry smile and a wink, letting you know, hey, I look this good because of my HRT, but don't fucking talk to me until I've had my hormones.
I don't think folks got to see the Punish She Her.
I know, I fucked it all up. I'm working on it. Here, it'll be like this. This is the Punish She Her logo there. There it is. There, it's coming through now. Blocking Lilith. There it is. That's a design Emily made. You can have that on. I mean, come on. How do you not want that shirt? Like, I want that shirt.
Did you? Oh, this is so perfect. So we do have a fan in this chat that just the other day bought 2 Punish She Her shirts.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's
yay.
Bring Lilith back here. Thank you. So you can get those at etsy.com/thetransverse.
Thetransverse.etsy.com. If you do etsy.com, you have to do /shop/thetransverse. Just thetransverse.etsy.com. It's there in chat. Scroll up a little bit above Brett's comment there.
Love that. Love that. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, everybody. And then also, and also you can do the Patreon thing too. Do the Patreon thing. Yeah, if you want to donate to us individually, you can just give us money on our Venmos and stuff. So I'm Adam Bonanza. If you just want to send me some fucking money, I'll fucking take it. I can use all the help I can get. Like, I don't have a big stake leaving the old US of A, and I don't have any real income either. I'm not very good at making money. I'm good at having fun. I'm not yet. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever going to be good at it.
What about, we talked about this, join a Canadian band and they have to play you on the radio up there.
Something like that. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird rules. Like, if I end up going to Canada, I'll probably almost certainly start a band up there or join one. Like, yeah, I think.
A Def Leppard cover band called Def Snow Leopard.
I'm not doing
because you're Canadian.
Cover band. I don't like anything about that.
It's just a clever name. It was a clever name, so...
It is a clever name.
Yeah. All right.
In a way.
I would drop the Def though. Let's just do Snow Leopard.
Snow Leopard.
SNO Leopard.
And it's actually not covering Def Leppard. It's covering Snow. It's covering him, Snow, the rapper guy that did Informer. But not that song.
What about this? You're a cover band called Snow Leopard, and it's *N-O Leopard, and you do no Def Leppard.
Yeah, we cover
everything.
We cover everything
but
Snow Leopard.
Well, and I love what Amanda said. It's like, I'm going to cover the Snow, the rapper that did Informer, but not cover that song. I love the idea of being a cover band, but doing none of the popular hits, doing all B-sides.
That was a plan I had for a Radiohead cover band, was to do their least popular songs, like all the bad shit off Pablo Honey, and it was called Kid B.
Purposely unpopular. Just making yourself purposely unpopular. I love it.
Well, there's the other idea of like being a Stereolab cover band that, except you use really cheap instruments and just like toy pianos and like really crimpy. You just sound like garbage, and like, but you play it like exactly right and orchestrate it all well, just like Stereolab does, and you call it Radio Shack.
I'm going to do a one-person cover band, but all I'm going to do is Tub Thumping. And that's the only song I do, and I just do it a different way every time. That's my new TikTok too. It's Tub Thumping.
So real quick, have you all seen the guys, the trio that does that covers "Killing in the Name of" on the tiny child's drum kit on a child's keyboard? Like that, there is a band that did that. It's hilarious and also extremely good.
Yeah,
there is
a handful of things people do stuff like that, but yeah,
there is a metal website where they have drummers come in and like do like Slayer on a kid's drum kit.
Well, yeah,
is actually really good.
Everyone, thanks for coming. We love you so much. We'll be back next week, as always. I guess I'll be doing the transgender show on Tuesday, so come watch that Tuesday Night Live, and then also. Stick around in an hour, and I'm going to be playing Pot Limit Omaha and Mediocre Poker. We'll be going and doing some of that. I've been on a good upswing lately. I went up in stakes, so I'm now, instead of doing the very, very lowest stakes, I'm one level up from that. And it is different. The dynamic has changed. The play style is different from the people that next tier up. So it's like I've had to adjust my gameplay, and we'll be talking about that during the show today. So that's Mediocre Poker. That's right here on this beautiful channel here at the Transverse. That's going to happen at the top of the hour, and we will see you then. And take care, everybody. See you on Tuesday. Or no, see you next Tuesday. See you at the top of the hour. See you at the top of the hour. You're all coming over to the Mediocre Poker. Yeah, you'll all be there. We'll see you soon. We'll see you in less than an hour. All right.